Awesome, great. So, hey everyone, my name is Amaya Fox. I primarily run some Resident Evil games, and today we're going to be doing the original Resident Evil 2. I'm playing as Leon. It's going to be the A side because there's an A and B side to this game. It's just going to be on normal difficulty, but the only twist for this is it's a kind of a meme run based off the movie Zoolander. If you haven't seen it, the main character is unable to turn left in the movie. So,
oh my god.
Yeah, so what we're doing here is we're going to unbind the left key, so I won't be able to move left in-game or even move left in the menus. Makes things interesting. There are like a couple spots where we can use the game's auto-aim to turn left for us, but there's only like 4 spots. But just to make sure everything is all right. Yep, so I have good old left bound to whatever that is. So we're good, and I'll let you know when we can start the timer.
I am ready.
All right, I'll do it on go. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this run really changes up a good majority of everything in the regular speed run, just due to the fact simply that you can't turn left. So any slight mess ups in your line means you have to basically turn around. And depending on the situation, that now makes you have to react to the enemy's movement in a completely different way. And yet again, readjust your lines based on how the zombies or whatever are now moving. So throughout the run, it's a lot of on-the-fly thinking and trying to figure out what do you need to do based on how your line just was and how the enemy is reacting. So while I've run this before, I've had to just think of strats on the fly and hope it worked out well. This is definitely an extremely risky run. So we're going to be grabbing lots of health because the way it is you're just going to take damage because a lot of times you just can't move through zombies as well. But that's okay. We have enough safety heals and we should be all right. So, since I wasn't paying attention, that zombie there rattled on the gate, and because of that, I was supposed to go into the menu real quick at a certain spot to trigger the animation of them busting the gate open. Unfortunately, I forgot about that, so I just had to do it real quick afterwards. If they are not banging on the gate, and I just mean by sound, because they may have the animation there doing it, then you don't have to worry about opening the menu. Just wait for him to pass. So, yeah, definitely do a little dance. So here is one of the few times we actually kill someone and showing off quick shooting in this game. So how quick shooting works is if you aim in this game and then shoot, hold the shoot button, but let go of aim and then kind of spam aim in a interesting rhythm that you just have to get a feel for, your character can actually shoot faster than they normally would, which is very critical for most of the boss fights in this game, to be able to shoot fast enough before you get hit or to utilize certain glitches. That's the only part really we have to worry about it with the pistol, and that's just a simple part. The female zombie of the ground, whose nickname is Misty, she can take anywhere from 2 to 4 shots to kill, just depending on RNG, and the zombie after her takes 1 or 2 shots to stagger backwards, and you can run past them.
Now, there's a reason that particular zombie is called Misty, isn't there?
You must be the new guy.
Oh god, you know what? Actually, I think it's just because she looks like Misty from Pokemon. Honestly, I can't remember.
It looks like your party.
But I think that's the reason she looks like her model looks like Misty from Pokemon. I'm 90% sure.
About 2 months ago.
I'm not good at all the there's
There
like
was
so
this
many different
incident
names for zombies
involving
nowadays in the games, and
zombies
I have not like
in a
caught up
mansion
to all the different
located in the
nicknames people
outskirts
have.
of this city.
Honestly, the only nickname that I
Chris
ever knew was Misty.
and the other STARS members
Yeah.
discovered that
A
Umbrella
different one I know is
was
remake.
behind
There's
everything.
a zombie in the library.
They
And
risked
her
their
name is
lives to
Eleanor,
reveal the
but
truth,
that's the only other one I know.
but no one believed them.
Yeah, so
Not
fun
long
fact,
after that,
Marvin here
all this
was
started
modeled
to
after Will
happen.
Smith back in the day. So that is why
Hang
he
in
looks
there.
similar to Will Smith,
Don't
if you're
worry
wondering.
about me. Just rescue the survivors in the other room.
Well, we just gotta wait for this cutscene to end while they kind of
Take
give
this
some of
key
the lore
card.
from the first
You
game.
should be able to unlock the doors in the hall with this. Now go. But just go.
Fine.
So
but I'm
coming
coming
up here
back
is going to
for you.
be
Just hold on.
our first encounter with the iconic enemy in this game is the Licker.
Everybody
Normally
loves
in
the
it,
liquor.
yeah. Normally in a speed run, you can tap left and instantly dodge it. Since we can't move left, we have to get a bit more creative to manipulate its movement. Usually we can run forward one step, stop, and then like run forward again, and that should cause him to do a certain attack. If not, I'm gonna get hit, and that sucks. But 90% of the time, it does work for manipulating the movement.
I gotta tell you, watching you turn right all this time is just, it's an interesting experience.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there we go. So, and hopefully I don't get slashed here. Nope, cool. Yeah, thank God I didn't get hit by the jump slash because that does a significant amount of damage.
Yeah. It's like at least a quarter of your health, isn't it?
Yeah, it's I forget how much, but I think it's like maybe 40 or 50 HP and you only have 200.
Yeah.
So here's a little strat I came up with, which is kind of turning like that, and then once the zombie lunges, curving around him. It seems to be the most consistent way there to not get bit. So this part is just pushing some statues in a certain way, so unfortunately due to not being able to turn left, it involves a lot of 360 turns so I can get around to the other side of it and push it again. But you really don't realize how much you have to turn left in this game until you don't have the ability to do it.
Right?
And it's like, oh, whoops, I slightly messed up the line, so I can't tap left like I used to be able to. And if I, don't correct my movement with a 360 turn, I'm not going to hit the door the right way. Speaking of which, bad line here, but whatever. So, found out that you're going to need this fast, and it's better to grab the first aid spray right there, since I can then curve around with all right-turning movements to grab that medallion and start up the cutscene.
It's good to see you're still among the living.
Some people before were grabbing the medallion first
looks
and
like
realizing
we're done.
you pretty much need the first aid spray to survive this run. So they would then have to turn around after the cutscene, go and grab the first aid spray, as opposed to here we can just run straight for the door. So just
There's
a little
no
thing to
reason
save a
for
couple
us to stay
seconds.
any longer than necessary. Let's split up. Look for
By the
any
way, if anyone
survivors,
does
and
have
get
any
outta here.
questions, please feel free to post them in the chat,
Right.
and I will read them off, and
One
I
last
will
thing.
answer them to the
Here's
best
a
of his
radio.
ability.
Take it.
Yeah, definitely feel free. A lot of times in
That way
this
we can keep in touch
specific
if
run,
anything happens.
sometimes I may concentrate and just not think about certain things. But yeah, I'll try to explain most of everything as I go. And here's just another fun statue pushing part. That statue, just for number count wise, takes 3 pushes, and then on the way here, it's 8.5 pushes to get it into the particular spot you need to for the puzzle. And I actually may have done that too little. Yeah, I did. Go me. I did like 8.25.
This is why I hate that particular statue.
Yeah, it's fine. So we're not gonna grab that gem yet. Actually, we're gonna come back up here, so I'm leaving it there for now. Right here is where you're gonna see one of those moments where I do turn left by using auto aim, just for an easy dodge here. But we aim, and then we can just run forward, and the zombie doesn't do anything.
That's interesting. I wonder why.
have no idea, but it works.
Hey,
And I messed up there, but there's jazz hands. Sometimes it can be hard to avoid them, especially even in a regular speedrun where you can't fix your line as much. Fortunately, it's like a 4-second time loss. Alright, so that wasn't bad. Sometimes he jumps, which makes it scary, but usually if you hang out in that corner, the jump doesn't reach you. So now we're about to use this medallion just to get a key. Also, another fun thing about this game is inventory management and menuing is a huge part. So a lot of time we're going to be pretty limited on inventory, and just being able to move faster out the menus is a huge thing as well. So this dodge right here, I messed up, but very hard to do. You have to kind of like grind along that corner of the wall, and if you do it correctly, you should be able to curve around the liquor, but it's very easy to mess up. Even I think the world record was recently broken, but before then the world record video even had a slice from that part of the game, so it's just very specific line that is easy to mess up, unfortunately. But it's not too much damage, and I said I have the healing, so it's something I accounted for anyways. So, random thing, in the PC version of this game, you can skip doors. And there is a certain timing to skipping doors. You can't just do it immediately. How this game works is at 1.45 seconds, the room is loaded up. So you have to skip right then to have the room load the fastest it can. If you skip before 1.45, the room takes longer to load, and if you wait till after 1.45, the room just loads once you skip everything. All right, come
fun
on.
fact: this little door hack also exists in Resident Evil 3.
Yes, it's also in Resident Evil 1, but it's funny. Each of the 3 games, it works differently. So Resident Evil 1, it doesn't matter when you skip the door because game time doesn't move during the door transitions. And for Resident Evil 3, there are some doors that you can skip instantly and some doors that you have to wait a moment to trigger them. Oh yeah, got past him. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, that's also sometimes going to be a hard dodge.
Yeah, especially that zombie at the end.
Yeah, mainly
He
him.
looks like
Just
a real butt.
yeah, and he's RNG, like, depending on his pattern, so sometimes he can be really close to where you need to slide by and it messes you up. Yeah, so about to come up to the first puzzle of this game, which honestly Resident Evil does, at least Resident Evil 2 does not have challenging puzzles. They're all static answers that are incredibly easy to remember. Resident Evil 3, on the other hand, is totally different, and I have to have a notepad open constantly with puzzle answers. So this game's a little bit more laid back.
Please no Aqua Cure.
Aqua Cure memes are rough. Oh, yeah, so a lot of this is just going to be me fixing my lines because maybe I turn too much, so now I can't get in the door anymore. But we got some gems we're going to use in a moment here. But first we have to put out the fire from a helicopter that crashed. That was, I think, supposed to save some people, but Elliot, who is in the remake and gets chomped in half, gets attacked by zombies and unfortunately shoots the helicopter pilot, so the helicopter crashes.
Oh, so
this
that's
room,
Elliot in the classic?
That is Elliot. Not a lot of people realize
that. I did not know that.
Yeah, that is Elliot. Whew. All right, so that is magical to not get bit there. That's all I gotta say.
Oh my god, yeah. Crows are every casual RE2 fan's nightmare.
Oh man, yeah. I'm so happy I made that. Actually, I can slip by you this way. Uh-oh. See? Yeah, so a lot of that said is just me like, oh man, which way are you moving? This way looks like it could work. But
That
this
could
one
have
definitely
went
keeps...
on
Oh,
a
you can go,
lot
you're
worse than it did.
Oh yeah, whoops, that's right. I forgot to need to make room.
Oh no.
So, so that goes back to inventory management. Of just remembering what's in your
Well, that's
inventory.
okay. At least it wasn't a complete waste. You actually did have health to heal.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes I've just had to use that because I dip into caution, but here that did not happen. And if I don't get bit here, it's going to be magical, which nope. Mainly due to me messing up that line and getting stuck on a light pole or whatever that was.
Yeah, it was a light.
Yeah, and it's all good. I still have a first aid spray, so no worries. And so you can move extremely fast in the menus of Resident Evil 2, as you see. The menus are very weird, and it's something you kind of have to like watch videos on to understand it. But once you do, you can move extremely fast through them because, for a good example, the fourth slot in the inventory, which is down and right, if you hold down and hit left immediately and really fast, it automatically goes to that fourth slot, even though that doesn't seem like it would make sense. But that's how it works. So if I hit normally in a run, I can hit like down, left, and right, and it'll go all the way to the bottom of the inventory, like instantly. So it's nice to know how to work that. Unfortunately, here I don't have left, so I can still use down and right to move the best I can, and then maybe move back up if I need to go into like a left spot. Like that. But a lot of times it's, yeah, me messing up in the menu being like, all right, how am I supposed to do this right now?
Now, I see for the most part, you're not really grabbing ammo. Do you ever, like, just pick up ammo and just toss it in the item box, or...?
No. The only ammo I am going to grab is later on Magnum ammo for bosses. But I don't need... What I have in the pistol right now is fine. I am going to drop off that knife, though, just for an extra inventory slot, and I don't ever plan on using it.
It's ineffective anyway.
Yeah, it's
The
pretty
best
bad.
the best knife is the Code Veronica knife. Don't at me.
No, it's pretty... The Code Veronica knife is mean. Although another fun, interesting thing about this game is the knife can also be quick shot, and it has its own
I didn't
rhythm.
know that.
Yeah, it's any weapon in the game can be quick shot. They just all have different rhythms.
Makes
So
sense.
not that you really want to quick shot the knife, but I guess if you're doing a knife only run, sure. So here's that liquor again. We'll see if we get to dodge him this time. Hopefully. What's actually weird is Leon takes a slightly different line every time he comes in here. Yep, there we go. So that's what I was supposed to do last time. And in a moment here is where that first aid spray is most likely going to come in very handy. Because we're going to go in the evidence room before we meet back up with Marvin. And even in a regular speed run, this room is extremely rough. And you'll see why in a second with how crowded it is in here. So,
I remember.
Alright. That's nice, actually. That worked out great. I'm going to grab this anyways, just for the extra health. You know.
Buy a lottery ticket tonight.
You know? Now, Marvin, there's a good chance he's going to bite me. We'll see. He has different RNGs. Sometimes he moves slow, sometimes he moves fast. So we'll see. He's definitely moving fast there. Let's see if I can get out in time. Oh, yeah, nice.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really tight there.
By the way, shout outs to the extra L and welcome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And also, in a moment here when we go downstairs, the SWAT van has multiple typos on it. It's great.
I actually never noticed that. That's gonna be hilarious to actually pick all those out.
Oh, whoopsies. I didn't hit right enough. That normally is a very easy dodge because you just have to tap right like twice, but apparently I didn't. Then that's why I got that other herb just in case.
Yup.
And my estimate on this run is quite high. Mainly if I die. If I don't die, then we have a significant amount of time saved. But anything can happen. So here's another. Oh,
I know the average run is like an hour.
let's see if that works. All right, I had messed up the line. Usually I can take that like diagonal whole way to dodge that, but I mess it up. Luckily I didn't aggro the dog, so I was able to fix it real quick. Yeah, normally it's a bit under an hour. I believe my PB for a regular any percent on this is like 50-51. And for this particular category, I'm at 58-58. But as I said, it's just towards the end of the game, especially, so many things can go wrong. And some of the main reset points in this game are there's super liquors in the laboratory at the end that can make your day bad. So we're gonna just try to kill them. And even in a normal run, you don't kill them, and that can kill you.
I saw one of those typos. I'm surprised
Oh, yeah.
I never noticed that till just now.
Yeah, there's the emergency, and I believe what's the other one? Is it department or is it? It's Dale
No,
instead of
something
dial.
like- Oh my god! How did I never notice that as a kid?
It took me forever. Someone pointed out, like even like this year, and I was like, "Oh, really?" But yeah, I've had in a tournament race one time on any percent, I had the lab liquors stun lock me from full health to death, and that was a very sad moment as I was ahead in the race. But we're gonna kill him here,
Feels
so yeah, I'm not. Yeah, definitely felt bad. I was like, whatever, though. That's just the way it is sometimes. Unfortunately, with this game, that's a big reset point, and the other big reset point, funny enough, is the last boss. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
There's a very certain glitch you have to pull off that I'll attempt to pull off once we get there.
I think I know which one you're talking about, but yeah, I'll obviously let you talk about that.
Yeah, we got a bit of weight still there, but yeah, there's a certain glitch to get the last boss stuck, and it's very specific on what you do, and if you mess up, then it can definitely spell death, especially in a normal speed run, because you usually won't have any heals at that point.
Yeah.
And who the heck are you?
But yeah, I'm gonna be overly cautious in this run.
He was working for a branch office of Umbrella based in Chicago.
Just as a reminder for the people at home, if you do have a question, please feel free to write it out in the chat, and I will pose it to our good friend Amai.
I don't know anything. And even if I did, why would I want
So
Thankfully, I
since we
do
don't
have-
really have... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, just saying, like, thankfully I have marathon saves, but hopefully we don't have to resort to that, but go ahead.
I have it right here, officer.
Well, I mean, since we got a little bit of time to kill, I might as well pose the question that I was talking to you about earlier. What do you like about Resident Evil 2 Classic over Resident Evil 2 Remake?
I'm gonna have to go with the fixed camera angles and tank controls. I enjoy both games separately and try not to compare the remake to the original, but like especially in a speedrun sense, like the lines you can take with tank controls can just be really satisfying in some rooms, and I don't feel that movement as much in the remakes, especially how much RNG can be involved just due to how zombies work in the remakes.
I'm going.
Right.
But there's just like certain rooms in here where you just do like perfect turns and lines, and it just you're like, oh yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
It's just I feel like with not that it's easier necessarily on the remake, but you can do a lot of movement change just since you have a mouse available to you. Unless you're using controller.
Right.
But still joystick you can spin around decently fast compared to tank controls. Oops, in the menu again. So here's a part that is disgustingly scary because you can get poisoned.
Spooners!
Alright. We ain't done yet. No, that's cool. I'll take that. Alright, so I didn't get poisoned, thank God, because that is normally a run ruiner if you're just trying to run the game normally, and it makes you sad anyways, because it's like a 20-second time loss.
Well, the good thing, if I recall correctly, is in that save room there was actually a blue herb plant in there, wasn't there?
There is a blue herb in there. Not a red plant, but just a blue herb.
Right.
But, yeah. Hopefully I don't have to use it. On the way back, I hope I don't get poisoned either, but there is I forget where another blue herb is actually, so hopefully I don't get poisoned. But usually the on the way back is not nearly as bad as going through there. It's just that spider can be around the corner and sometimes pull some weird movement where it'll do like a 180 turn and immediately spit poison while you're still around the corner and it kind of goes through the wall. So yeah. that hurts your feelings when you're doing a regular run.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, because it's pretty much, I think, around 20-25 seconds to time loss. So unless like you're really new at running the game, you're just gonna reset there. So Ada section, pretty quick and easy. Yeah, sometimes the dogs hit me. I don't really care about her health, so it's no big deal. She has a first aid spray, but I shouldn't take that much damage.
No.
We just gotta do some box pushing because Resident Evil games love their boxes and water puzzles. Not sure how these heavy boxes float in water, but I guess zombies don't make sense either. So
don't question Capcom logic. Just accept it for what it is.
Yeah. So for these boxes, the two outer ones, you actually do not have to pull or push all the way through. You can kind of get them at that like halfway point-ish, which the last box I pushed is about 2-ish pushes, and the first one is 6.5, and they should suck into each other.
Yeah, that was something I definitely picked up on when I was playing this as a kid.
Yeah. Definitely very useful. Don't know why I opened my menu there, but you know.
You just wanted to make sure that everything was still in there.
You know? All these bullets that I won't use because the section's about to end.
You just wanted to remember your cute boyfriend John.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she cares about John so much. Because when she finds out about his death, she's not very reactive to it.
Ada.
She's like, John's dead, and Leon's like, wait, what? And she's like, never mind, it's cool. Like, all right. Must have not been that good of a solid relationship.
Hey, I can't.
I hope no one was too.
I'm going to have to find another way around.
I hope no one was like hoping there would be no spoilers here, because I have some bad news.
Yeah. Yeah, John dies, by the way. Who's John? I don't know. We never see him, but he does die. He's Ada's boyfriend. And it was really a fun lore aspect. It actually dated back. In Resident Evil 1, there is a computer that you have to enter a username and password for. Username being John, password is Ada. That was just a random thing, and when they went to go make Resident Evil 2, they're like, hey, we want to link those people to this game. So they're like, what's Ada like? And the creator was like, I have no idea. That was just a name I came up with. So they had to like create up a character for her because they already thought she had a character, and it was just two names.
If I recall correctly, I think when they were doing Resident Evil 1.5, she was at first a scientist. She wasn't even a spy.
I tried. That liquor dodge is really hard on any percent, and not being able to turn left here makes it just even more difficult. So not too bad. On any percent, you have to like slide along the wall, and then at a certain point run left, run into that door for like half a second, and then you can slide past him because he doesn't do like his attack animation. But as I said, it's on this category, you're just hoping for the best.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I say, and that's why we grab so many heals, because there's just so many unpredictable areas that you just don't know what's going to happen.
Hey, this ain't a no damage run.
Exactly. Definitely ain't a no damage run. So here, normally very easy to get past. Since I can't turn left, I actually go this way in general, but normally I'd be able to run behind all the zombies. This is another dodge that's still pretty much the same in this category, just not as fast because I can't turn left to get into that spot. But you can go there, wait a moment, and then you can just move around that whole horde of zombies. There is a world record strat for that has you do like a question mark in between that, but I've never done it because it's really hard and I'm not going for world record strats. Oh, that sucks. See? This hallway is terrible normally, let alone... Come on, just keep on, let alone when you can't turn left.
So we just had someone in chat ask about the specifics behind this category, specifically that you can't turn left. Is there anything else about this category?
No, it's just a regular any percent, but you bind left to something basically that's very hard to get to, so you basically can't turn left, which then also causes you can't go left in the menus. But there's still ways to get left in the menus, you just can't press the button to do that specifically. But I said RE2's menu works in a very interesting way, so that's not as bad. So now we're going to leave this area to go up to the clock tower area. And come on, grab that, Leon.
So who came up with the idea for Zoolander percent?
So there is a speedrunner named Lucy Lover who just did it as a fun meme run back in the day, and I guess enough people got interested in it that it just became a category that got added to the leaderboards, I think literally like 2 weeks ago max.
Oh
but
my God.
some of us just did it for fun, and then just more and more people were like, hey, that looks pretty interesting and challenging, and we got enough people to run it to where they let it be on the leaderboards. Because I think you usually need at least like 3 or 4 people to run a category. And actually, I'm supposed to be going this way, but it's too big of a deal. So hopefully I can dodge this liquor. It's another one that's hard since I can't turn left. Ooh, nice. So,
Flood the hallways with zombies.
Yeah,
Hallways
they're
that you'll
busting in.
never go into again.
Nope. Yeah, we're done with the RPD, so those zombies busting in really means nothing. But imagine on a casual playthrough that has you thinking, "Oh crap."
Yeah. Unless you put in the infinite weapons glitch.
True. Then not as
Or
bad.
cheat, rather. Yes.
Hey, it's just a storyline playthrough.
Right?
So a random thing you'll see after using certain key items like this one, I have to go back into the menus. It's just a little behind the scenes technology of how the engine works is for the cutscene, the game has to unequip Leon's gun so his hands can be free for that key item that shows up. And then the game has to go back into the menu to quickly re-equip the gun without you really seeing it. Something that most people wouldn't pay attention to or notice, they'd just be like, oh, the menu pops up here, so I gotta back out. But if you use one of the speedrunning tools we have to show the inventory in the game, you'll see the current equipped weapon for Leon go blank for a little bit, and the second the menu opens back up, it reappears. So, just a neat little behind-the-scenes thing.
That's actually really interesting. I didn't actually know that that was how they handled key items. And like I always noticed that there was certain things they handled differently, like keys, for instance.
Yeah.
Like they ask if you wanted to discard it, but for other items like the crank or the cog or other items, it just straight up yeets it out of your inventory. It doesn't even give you the option.
Yeah, so learning the speed run, you learn which items are like that. But yeah, it's just pretty much anything where Leon has to use both his hands, like in game for a key item, is when it's gonna put you back into the inventory.
Make him pay. Hang in there, Ben.
But unfortunately, viewer discretion advised. Poor Ben's about to have a bad day here.
Oh yeah, definitely turn away if you're squeamish at all.
Especially if graphics from 1998.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Ben. And
F's
aliens
in chat,
reference.
y'all. F's in chat. F's in chat.
Good
Yeah,
God,
poor
what
man.
was that?
He didn't deserve that. So another great moment here. Ada asks Leon what's going on. He hands her a letter and she immediately runs away without saying anything.
I have a feeling
So they have a really good conversation between each other. It's like, no, there's a dead body on the floor, but yeah, it's okay.
Whatever.
We now have access
Like, I got
to the
something
back
to
of
do.
the parking lot.
I'm a little busy here. Thanks.
I'm out of here and heading to the sewer. Can you meet me there?
I'm on my way.
So coming up on the first boss here. But first we need to go and deal with the first sub-boss, aka it's the spider again, and hope I don't get poisoned. But as long as that goes well, we'll be okay. Move on to the first boss. Where are you at? Whew. Alright, couldn't trigger the stairs, but we're good. I didn't get poisoned. And honestly, that's all that matters to me.
No hits either.
Yeah. Nice too. So, there's a nice gross boss that spits out little babies. And the way this boss works is, depending on how far you are, it takes either 6 or 7 shots to kill him. I'm going to try to get close enough, but we'll see. Kind of hard because can't turn left, so I got to use aim real quick. Let me shake these off so they don't hit, bite on me. And yeah, I was too far, so it took 7 shots, but not a big deal.
God, those babies are so annoying.
Oh yeah, they're really annoying. Like, you have to stop and shake them off because they'll bite you and stun Leon for like 3 seconds, and the boss can claw you in that time. And his claw does a significant amount of damage. I'm not sure how much, but it's probably between 40 to 60 HP.
I wouldn't be
Those
surprised.
zombies are
Yeah.
everywhere. Not to mention that thing that
And I'm 90% sure. I have 140 HP right now. I probably would have gone in caution,
Look, Ada.
which
As an
then makes
officer,
everything
my
even
job
more
is
harder,
to
because in
protect
this game,
We're not going to get through this
you
alive.
technically have 4
We're
different
together, okay?
health statuses. Just 2 of them are kind of the same. But you have Fine, which is from basically 101 HP to 200 HP. Your character moves like this, turns normally, all that fun time. Once you hit 100 HP and below, you go into Caution, which now your character limps, so they move slower as well as they turn slower. And a category like this, that makes things even worse.
Yeah,
Turning is
downright
already
suck.
so far. Yeah.
And then when you hit around 25 is when you really start to
Yeah, so there's also orange caution, not as I mean, it's just lower HP, but the movement's the same.
Yeah, I've always considered that more of a cosmetic status than anything else.
Yeah, but danger, when you get to that, that's when things are bad. Your character limps terribly, your turning is awful, you're gonna die very soon. It's actually faster to run by like spamming the run button, and it causes your character to kind of do something like that.
Convulse, yeah.
Yeah, and it's faster than actually trying to run forward in danger. So a moment ago, you saw me discard or unequip my weapon. The reason is right there where Annette shoots.
2-second time save.
Yeah, actually, it may even be more. I forget how much. Is it? It may be 2 seconds. I'm not sure. But basically, what had happened is Annette shoots Ada's gun out of her hand, and at the end of this cutscene, rather than it just ending, Ada turns around and goes and picks up her gun again. So,
Oh yeah, it has to be more than 2 seconds then, yeah.
Yeah, it may actually be around like 4 or 5. I can't remember, but yeah, it's free time.
Free real estate.
Yeah, so might as well, go ahead and get it done, just because it takes no time to unequip your weapon. But it was a little bit before I realized that was even a thing. And
don't you think it's funny how Annette is just giving all of this exposition for free when she knows who Ada is?
Yeah, bad guys aren't always smart in these games. But basically, Annette's explaining about the whole G virus and how her husband got infected, and he's the main bad guy of the game who we haven't seen yet. You do see him earlier on in the B scenario, where I fought that G adult a moment ago. You would actually fight Birkin in his first form. But that was a cutscene, just shows everything that happened. I skipped it since I think it's a couple minutes.
As a result of his
Yeah.
virus-induced
Yeah, so don't need to watch this. You know, it's a speed run. We don't need to see the CGI cutscenes.
even worse.
Especially because you can't skip cutscenes like this, but during a speed run, they do offer nice breaks. This one is a fantastic bathroom break because the the talking alone is like 2 minutes, and then if you factor in the CGI video, you can walk away for like 4 minutes and be just fine. But this would be the part where Ada would turn around to go pick up her gun, but instead she just is ready to go forward. So here's another part that people don't realize with door skipping. So this is considered a door right there. And the one that people don't realize is this transition right here is technically another door. So you have to skip again at 1.45 seconds
Wow.
to do that the fastest. If you don't and you're not paying attention, it will stay a black screen for around 6 seconds before it loads everything. So it's another one of those things that you're losing time for no reason.
I would have never guessed that that's a door skip.
Yeah. Only reason I found out was because the auto splitter we use for this game goes off of doors. So every split in it is a door. So when I would get to there, I'd be like, wait a second. That's that was a split, and we use a detailed timer to see what the time is for each door, so we know when to skip appropriately. So I was like, I'm losing time for no reason here.
2 points. A, nice dodge on that poison. B, there's the other herb plant.
Oh yeah. So I'm actually gonna grab these green herbs just for safety. I don't need them for actual heal at the current moment because in a moment after this fight, Ada is actually going to heal us, and I thought I'd grab that one. So I'm just having these for later. And in true Resident Evil fashion, you want to try to do things all at the same time in the menu, so I just wanted to combine those real quick while I was already in the menu. Even though, unfortunately...
I always found the way that Resident Evil has you pick up items off the ground, especially items that are close together, like those two herbs. I always found it really weird, because it feels like it randomly picks whichever one it wants you to pick up.
Yeah, I guess like hitboxes for those can be really weird at times. So there is a glitch here that is called the fast croc or crocodile skip, whatever you want to call it. It's basically frame perfect. So hopefully I don't mess it up, but usually I do get it right. But when I get next to this canister, how the alligator or crocodile shaked its head right there, he's going to shake it 3 times. When his head touches the wall on the 3rd shake, I have to immediately drop the canister and aim. So I'm going to concentrate here for a moment. Alright, awesome. So what that does is, you saw there, he ran up and grabbed the cylinder. If you do it too fast, he just walks up to it slowly and then grabs it. If you wait till a frame after his head touches the wall the 3rd time, then he clips through it and you die. So, maybe a risky, strat in kind of like a marathon setting, but it's real fun when it happens, so. I usually always take the risk, and after practicing it enough, I have it down pretty well.
Making things any easier.
Nice.
Quietly.
But yeah, I've had some times like on my own runs back in the day where it's like, oh yeah, I got it, and then nope, clips through, and you don't have enough ammo to kill the alligator, and he does too much damage, so you're just gonna die at that point, unfortunately.
I just found out.
And this is what I was talking about in this scene right here with Ada. She heals you.
Let's just get out of here.
So even though those green herbs were there before the crocodile, I wouldn't want to use them. Same goes if I was doing like a regular any % speed run, even if I was in caution, for example. I wouldn't pick those herbs up just because I believe it takes longer to grab the herbs and use them than the time lost from caution and just going through that crocodile area real quickly. And Ada's blocking me, of course. She does that sometimes, but yeah.
Especially when you do get that full heal at the end of it.
Yeah, exactly. You're getting a full heal, so it's like there's no point in wasting however many seconds it takes to pick up an herb and then go in your inventory and actually use it.
By the
you
way,
have to...
I just want to make a real quick note about something. If you were Claire and you were just playing as Sherry and she got caught like Ada just did, you would have had to have run back and gotten her.
Oh yeah, that's why I have no desire to run Claire, solely due to Sherry, because you have to wait for Sherry because she doesn't run fast enough. So you can't just run full steam and hope for the best because she'll just stop and you have to go back for her and you can't leave the room. The box puzzle with Sherry is even more annoying because she has a RNG chance to drop her leg and while she's climbing up. So she'll go to almost finish climbing up, her leg will fall back down, and then she'll have to climb up again. And it's RNG and it's time lost for no reason. So, oops, I didn't mean to use that, but there goes a heal. And see, that's what happens with just running this game so many times normally, like menuing is ingrained. So normally my metals would be there, but instead the herb was there. So wasted heal, but oh well, I should be okay. There are more heals I can pick up anyways.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Do you ever upgrade any of your weapons?
Nope. Yeah, we don't upgrade anything. I'm actually coming up on basically the end of using the pistol here in a moment. We don't upgrade the Magnum, and we never got the shotgun in the RPD, so that's not getting upgraded either. Now, if I recall
correctly, the reason you don't upgrade the Magnum is because of how slow it is.
I mean, it's a combination of how slow it is, and then at the same time, it's not really that much of a damage difference to warrant the slower gun.
You know, you would have thought that if you were upgrading your Magnum, that it would at least increase the damage.
And it does increase it, but it's not worth it. Like I've used it before on like the super liquors and the labs, and it still takes like maybe 2 shots to kill them. So it's maybe you kill them in 1 shot, but sometimes it can still take 2. So it doesn't, and especially on the last boss where you need to do things as fast as possible, it's just not worth it.
Like the only reason you would want to upgrade it is if you actually absolutely needed the ammo. But when you're doing speedruns, you have stuff mapped out so well that it's really not necessary.
All right, cool. So now I don't need the pistol anymore, so I'm just gonna get rid of that in a moment here. Hopefully I don't take a bite in this part, but things happen, man. Get lucky, and that's not gonna matter either. Nah, alright, cool. I meant to aim at this guy, hoping I could stagger him, but unfortunately I aimed at the other zombie, but not too bad. So, yeah, just for safety purposes. Oops. See, I'm not even used to... I'm just gonna get rid of all that crap because I don't need it.
Well,
and this goes back to me like moving through item boxes terribly because I'm not used to doing it. Yep, cool. And we're getting ready to come up on the second boss fight here. And also, honestly, towards the end of the game.
So when it comes to reloading guns, is it faster to go into your inventory or is it faster to just reload it from...
Most of the times it's going to be faster to go in the inventory. It depends on the situation. Like, a lot of times when you're reloading in the speed run, I'm doing it while doing other things, so it's getting done in the inventory already, like in that part right there. The only time you're going to reload manually is on this boss fight coming up, because you reload while Birkin is going through an animation before the last shot that kills him. And on the final boss, if you have to reload while Birkin is jumping up in the air, you can just reload regularly since he has to come back down anyways before you can shoot him, so there's no point in going into the menu. So there is particular strats on this fight normally to try to not get hit, which involves moving in a certain way. Not going to happen here, so I'm just going to hope for the best to try to get as many shots into him, take as little damage as possible. But we got multiple first aid sprays, and I got ammo, so... So he needs 8 shots. Yeah, that's fine. Yep. And here goes me dropping quick shots. And there we go. So he does that animation. And so that's fine. That's
Only yellow caution, that's not bad.
No. You got me down to, I believe, 44 HP. Instead, I started at 170, and I picked up the first aid spray just because there's a good chance that he's going to hit you like that. Since normally you can get in a certain area where his first swing is going to swipe and miss. And then if you get off 4 shots without dropping one of your quick shots, then you can then turn around and move backwards some more and rinse and repeat, and you should be okay. Unfortunately, that line requires you to immediately go left at the beginning of the fight, so it doesn't work too much here.
Welcome back.
So this is where Ada starts, declaring her love for Leon, but spoiler, since she's a spy, I'm not really sure it's real or not.
But I'll only slow you down with these injuries.
But we're in the labs, which is the final part of the game, and on a normal speed run, I'd probably say one of the best parts that can instantly kill your run. So, yeah, these are the fun times. Mainly just do the super lickers in the bottom part of the laboratory and the final boss fight.
I know I'm not capable of caring about anyone, but
This particular section of the game also has one of people's favorite enemies, the Ivies.
Oh yeah, I forgot
I might
about
be
that.
being a little bit sarcastic.
Yeah, thankfully they're not too bad in a speed run. So I'm just gonna grab that herb in case for whatever reason. I don't think I should need it, but why not?
At least these Ivies aren't complete jerk faces like in the remake.
Oh no. No, yeah, they're not nearly as bad as the one-hit kills in the remake. They can still do damage if you're in caution and they grab you, and it's a very low chance, but they can hit you twice in a grab and that will kill you from caution. But there is a very consistent way to dodge them, so it's not something you really worry about in a speed run. So hopefully I can grab that first aid there, which I was unable to, but I'll get it on the way back. That was more just menu management, equipping the Magnum when I go to use this key item, because after that cutscene, Leon had to have his gun unequipped because he's carrying Ada, so can't have any weapons in his hand. All right, I'm gonna grab this first aid spray if I can. There we go.
I mean, if you think about it, it does make sense. Would you hold a weapon while carrying a friend?
No, you gotta practice gun safety. Very dangerous, I imagine. But yes, in just a moment here, we are getting ready to come across the Ivies for the first time. And said it's very consistent dodge. Regularly on any percent. It's still pretty consistent here. You just have to take it slower. So
I was gonna say, do you actually find it easier to kind of bait an Ivy into their little whip attack?
oh no, we're not baiting them. We just do this. And you slide behind them. It's just easier because in any percent you can turn left as you're going towards the panel and line it up to immediately slide behind them like that. Here I just have to manually turn for a moment. So here's the super lickers. Oh, I'm so glad you missed that.
Wow.
That was, whew.
I'm actually kind of shocked.
Yeah. Gonna grab that. That'll come handy later, I'm sure.
Yep.
So that was nice. I tried doing this run without killing them before, and it's very close to impossible. I mean, it's definitely possible, but it's way better just to kill them because they can do so much and stunlock you as it already is, and not being able to turn right just makes that situation so much worse.
Yeah, I'm sure the only way it would even be remotely possible is if you were to just keep tapping on your D-pad or on your control stick, and it would just not be fast at all.
And also, if you walk, you'll be okay because lickers are blind.
Right.
This is also one of those rooms where I talk about like really nice movements is really fun. Doesn't work as much in this run since I can't turn left, but in any percent run, lines you take in there, you're just like sliding in and out real quick, and it's just constantly like the camera angles are changing. Yeah, it looks real nice. And yeah, for those lickers back there, there's like certain movement manipulations you can do to make them act a certain way to dodge them normally, but can't do that on this run. As well as there's a movement manipulation that you would do on the way back here that you also, I mean, I guess you could try on this run, but I can barely even do it in any percent, and I've seen people such as like Bakba Soup, who's a big Resident Evil speedrunner, fail that dodge. So usually you try it and just hope for the best, and a lot of times you don't make it. This guy's pretty easy, just curve around him.
At least these IVs don't poison.
Yes, I believe they can poison if you go into the poison room and release the poison gas, but
yes,
yeah, not something we're doing here.
Yes, it's the red-headed IVs that poison.
Yeah. So this room definitely sucks. I mean, remember to do that because I'm gonna need it. Normally in a playthrough, because you have to slide past all these zombies, I'm gonna slide past them the best way I can and hope for the best. Yeah, right? Yeah. And now they're just gonna chain grab me. Guess I could have waited to heal.
See, this is where Resident Evil 3's dodge system is infinitely superior.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that room is so infamous. Like, because on any percent speed run, you can basically ride along the outside edge, slide through them, grab the disc, and keep moving, and not get bit. On this run, it's a bit harder.
My husband's legacy.
Oh, and I see because someone asked in the chat, left turns are not allowed because this is based on the movie Zoolander, where Ben Stiller, the main character, is unable to turn left in the movie for whatever reason, mental condition.
At the end of the day, this is a meme category.
Yes. But just happens to be an extremely difficult one that people have said they don't realize the challenge until you're doing it and you realize, oh, I have to turn left that many times.
Information about Umbrella.
That can't be. I know.
I said, you know, tank control game normally you're like, oh, I slightly messed up here. I'll just, since I'm using keyboard, I'll like tap on the left key real quick and everything's fixed, all good. And this category, it's now you get to do like a quick 360 turn and try to go from there again. So metal pipes come out of nowhere, beating it up. Poor her. We gotta pick up the G virus from her.
Don't get too comfortable with it.
Yeah. Hopefully no one tries to take it from Leon. And he's awfully calm
Who
here.
would want to do that?
I don't know. He was a little calm there for like it saying a self-destruct system has been armed. He's like, oh, I guess I'll wait and listen to everything. I would have been immediately like, oh, we gotta get out of here.
Leon.
This is the sad part of the game. Makes everyone cry.
I've been waiting for you, Leon.
Betrayal, loss, everything. All the different emotions get felt here.
You know what this is about. So Just hand over the G virus.
I don't believe this. Annette was right. About everything.
That's why I told you to leave without me, but you wouldn't listen.
But while this is going on, yeah, I can try to explain the last boss. So, when you get to the last boss, you're in front of an elevator. On the ground, it has elevator platforms spelled out. You have to run, get in between the E and the P, and aim and shoot down at Birkin 4 times before he can attack you. If you do that, it should put you in the proper position where when he transforms into his dog form, he's going to jump up on the rafters, upon which you can move backwards and put Leon's foot in a very certain area of the where you're located. And if you get that right, it will glitch him. And when he jumps up, rather than jumping off the rafter, he just falls right back down onto it, and he gets stuck in a jumping loop, and you can kill him without taking damage. If not, then things get very bad because he does a significant amount of damage. And one of his abilities, I believe, if you have like 80 HP, will kill you in one hit, where he like grabs you with his teeth mount.
Yeah. Also, F's in chat.
Yeah, poor Ada, which technically not really, because, you know, spoiler, she's not actually dead. But also at the same time, I don't believe this ending is canon. I believe the B-side is canon.
I do have to say something. When Carcinogen did his developer commentary with Hideki Kamiya said a hybrid version of the scenarios are canon. Much in the same way that a hybrid of the scenarios in Resident Evil 1 are canon as well.
And I messed that up. Oh, really? I don't want to use that yet. Well, that's what the Ivy's can do if you mess up.
Yes.
I just don't want to use the first aid, because there's about to be some herbs on the ground. I'd rather just use one of those first.
Uh-huh. Now, did you kill the second liquor that dropped down from the ceiling?
So no, I didn't. On the way back, I did not kill him. But oops, that liquor's gone.
They get replaced by naked zombies.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
All right. Turn a little bit. I don't really.
You can't see it, but the herb was just on the other side.
Yup. Alright, cool. So, even if this fight goes the worst way possible, I have 3 first aid sprays. I don't think I'm going to need them, but, you know.
You have them if you don't.
Yeah, better than dying for sure, so.
It's better to have something and not need it than need it and not have it.
So, especially in this kind of setting, you know, normally, whatever. If I die, I die, but nobody wants to see you die, you know, in a showcase.
Now, you said you want to put Leon between that E and the P on the left-hand side.
Yeah, it's a bit harder since I can't turn left, but I still got the decent area. Hopefully I can just get into the spot in time, which I can be a little slow about. But he should jump up if everything goes according to plan.
How much for the doggy in the window?
Alright, so where Leon's foot is where you have to be. And as you see, now he's stuck there. I could have reloaded the menu there, but...
Oh.
And... yeah, that's this fight, basically. You just can't shoot him when he's up in the air. But yeah, that's basically GG on this game.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's, being able to nail that glitch down is crucial to the speed run in general. In a normal any percent speed run, you will not have any healing items at this point, so that's why you have to get that down, because Birkin will mess up your day. Usually if you don't get the glitch down, it's probably the run's probably over because you're gonna die. But that's Resident Evil 2 Zoolander %. playing the whole game, not being able to turn left except for a few, like 3 different areas where when you aim, auto turn automatically turns you left. But yeah.
All right, so the
was
timer
fun.
says 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 25 seconds, but the keybinds on the live split were changed on me, and I didn't realize it until you got to Kendo's gun shop. So it's probably more like 103.05.
No big deal. Still way under estimates, so yeah, I'll definitely take that. And yeah, the in-game time
Absolutely.
doesn't count certain things, so that's why it's also going to be lower.
Yep.
There we go. So, but yeah, that is basically it. I need to go in the menus here so the game doesn't load up the demo because that messes up with live split. But really do appreciate you letting me show off this run. I said it is very new. Just got on the leaderboards recently under the category extensions. Wish I was world record.
This is not a world record, by the way, right? This is not a world record.
No, it's not even my PB, unfortunately. But it's not a bad time. 59:28. My PB is, I believe, let me double check, 58:58, and I think world record's like 57 something. So definitely sub hour is still not a bad time for this.
Definitely not.
But yeah, my name's My Fox. As I said, I run multiple Resident Evil games. So at the current moment, it's original Resident Evil 1 Jill, Resident Evil 2 Leon A, and Zoolander %. Resident Evil 2 Remake Leon A Standard, and I also run a game where you play as a fox called Spirit of the North. But totally random. But yeah, if you have any questions about speedrunning this game, I'm always happy to help. I've learned so much about this game since the start of this year when I actually started speedrunning, and this was the first game I tried learning. So I will say the original Resident Evil 1 and 2 games are great starts for learning a speedrun. If you ever are looking to get into speedrunning, these routes are pretty easy to learn and the techniques are pretty easy. Don't learn Resident Evil 3 as your first speedrun. It's bad. It's not a bad game. It's actually a really fun game, but the game is entirely RNG throughout the whole thing with the way zombies move, puzzle solutions. And so I have to keep a notepad up with different puzzle solutions. So, because some of them, I think it's like the clock tower has 7 different solutions it can be.
And then, of course, the infamous water puzzle.
That one too, that has like 5 different solutions, but there's like 3 things you have to do with each one of those solutions. And yeah, that's why that game is really brutal for someone just trying to learn speedrunning. So I would never recommend that one as a first. even a first Resident Evil game, I wouldn't recommend that. Definitely do 1 or 2 if you're trying to get into the tank control speedrunning games. But that is all I have. So once again, thank you. You have any questions for me before I leave?
No, I think we can go ahead and call it a run.
Awesome. Well, once again, thank you everyone for coming out and watching this. It was definitely fun.
Well, thank you very much, Amai, for joining us tonight. And we will see you all very soon, because we're not done